I am Zix, proud warrior of the Razelian Empire, conqueror of 12 worlds, champion of the intergalactic blood arena, and feared across the entirety of civilized space. Yet, to my great shame, I must also bear another title, a title whispered behind my back and accompanied by irritating laughter. The Human Tamer. My brethren find endless amusement in this title. Humans are weak, fragile, and small. They possess no claws, no venom, no armored carapace. Their soft, vulnerable skin tears easily. Their combat skills rely mostly on a frustrating combination of tricks, diplomacy, and sheer stubbornness. They smile entirely too much, and I suspect their friendliness to be some twisted form of psychological warfare. But worst of all, is that one of these humans calls me friend. My fall from glory began when the Empire assigned me a simple task: guard a group of diplomats attending peace negotiations with the Galactic Federation. It should have been straightforward. Stand menacingly at the entrance, terrify delegates who dared challenge Razelian superiority, and occasionally growl threateningly. Easy. That was before Ambassador Gardner introduced herself. "Hi," she said, with all the aggression of a newborn hatchling. Her white teeth flashed with predatory brightness, eyes sparkling like tiny fusion drives. "I'm Gardner, Earth's diplomatic representative. Looks like we'll be working together." I have stared down many foes before: vicious Garmuk assassins, towering Krugraf berserkers, and cunning Alvari spies. Yet somehow, faced with her sunny expression and complete lack of fear, I found myself momentarily stunned. "I am Zix," I growled, trying to regain composure. "Warrior of—" "Oh, I know," Elena interrupted cheerfully, extending a hand. "I've heard all about you. Impressive reputation. Want to grab lunch after the briefing?" I regarded the proffered hand as one might a venomous Vespian razorworm. "Lunch?" "Yes," she replied, undeterred. "Eating, talking, getting to know each other, that sort of thing." I narrowed my eyes. Is this some form of human ambush? Elena laughed, a high melodic sound that grated against every fibre of my warrior soul. "No ambush, Zix. Just lunch. Come on, it'll be fun." And that's how it began. I still don't fully understand why I agreed. Perhaps she used some sort of human mind control pheromone. Or perhaps I was hungry. Either way, I soon found myself seated awkwardly in a diplomatic lounge, watching Elena smile warmly as she consumed extremely small pieces of bread, topped with brightly coloured vegetation. Within days, Ambassador Gardner's cheerful persistence had drawn me into a series of increasingly humiliating situations. She insisted on introducing me to every other diplomat at the conference, as if I were some domesticated pet. Every introduction followed a similar pattern. "This is my friend Zix," she'd say with a blinding smile. "He's a fierce warrior from Razel, so don't start anything." Then she'd laugh again, her favourite attack, I assume, and the other diplomats would smile nervously, uncertain if she joked or threatened. To make matters worse, Elena frequently engaged me in conversations regarding feelings, hobbies, and something called small talk. After each of, I felt like invading a new planet. But I didn't. Instead, I, a seasoned combat veteran, soon found myself inexplicably discussing personal ambitions, and even listening politely while she recounted stories of her home planet, Earth. A backwater rock whose greatest claim to fame appeared to be something called pizza. Things escalated rapidly when a crisis emerged on the second week of negotiations. News arrived that a Klarn battleship, able to obliterate whole planets, had suddenly appeared in orbit, demanding the surrender of a rogue commander who had defected to the Galactic Federation. Tension gripped the diplomatic council. The Federation had no warships nearby. My own Empire's forces were days away. We had only security details, none equipped to engage a Klarn battleship directly. The delegates panicked, arguing pointlessly, while I stood motionless at the entrance, silently awaiting orders to fight to my inevitable death. Then Elena walked directly to me, calm and smiling, as if she hadn't noticed the chaos. "Zix," she said brightly, "do you want to come with me? I think we can handle this." I stared at her, baffled. "Handle what?" "That battleship," she replied, tapping her wrist communicator. "I've arranged a shuttle." "You intend to attack a Klarn battleship with a shuttle?" "Don't be silly," Elena laughed. "We're going to talk to them." And before I knew what had happened, we were in a shuttle hurtling straight toward the enemy flagship. Elena spent the entire journey calmly humming a human tune. I briefly wondered if humans were, in fact, utterly insane. We docked unopposed, likely because no sane commander would anticipate such brazen stupidity, and stepped into the Klarn's flagship bridge, filled with armoured, clawed warriors, nearly twice my size. Their commander towered above, snarling furiously at our arrival. "What is this madness?" the Klarn commander roared, voice vibrating with rage. "Do you humans intend to insult me by sending a pathetic female diplomat and a Razelian pet?" I snarled, preparing to charge, but Elena's hand on my arm stopped me. "No need for hostility," she said warmly, stepping forward. "We just wanted to talk this out. Surely we can find a solution." "You mock me?" he growled. "I will annihilate your station if the traitor isn't delivered to me within the hour." Elena nodded thoughtfully. "I understand. It's an honor thing, right? This traitor disrespected your command, betrayed your fleet." The Klarn glared, suspicion evident. "Indeed." "I see," Elena continued. "Perhaps we could offer something else, something more valuable to your honor. How about an official apology from the Federation, publicly acknowledging your superiority?" The Klarn hesitated. I found myself watching, amazed at Elena's calm assurance. The commander's claws clicked uncertainly on the command console. "You believe mere words could appease me?" "Words backed by diplomacy," Elena clarified gently, "broadcast to every civilization in the galaxy. Your enemies will see the Federation humbled. Isn't that better than chasing one insignificant traitor?" I held my breath, muscles tense. To my shock, the commander growled in reluctant approval. "I accept your words, human," he rumbled finally. "But mark my words, if the Federation fails in this promise, your worlds will burn." "Understood," Elena said cheerfully, turning on her heel and gesturing casually for me to follow. And that was it. A galaxy-threatening disaster solved through smiling and small talk. Back on the shuttle, Elena turned to me, her expression serious for the first time since I'd known her. "Thanks, X. It was comforting having you there. The Klarn respected your strength, I could tell." I shook my head. "I did nothing. You defeated them." She grinned. "Ah, but your reputation helped. Who wants to upset a Razelian warlord and his human friend, right?" "Friend?" I asked, startled. "Of course." Elena smiled softly. "You helped me face down an entire Klarn fleet. That makes us friends." That day sealed my fate. From the moment we returned, my fellow Razelians greeted me with amusement. "So, Zix, tamer of humans, how was your adventure?" I growled, but Elena merely laughed again and looped her arm around my battle-scarred shoulder. "Ignore them, Zix. You're amazing, and they're just jealous." I wanted to protest, wanted to roar, to deny the ridiculous claim that I had been tamed by a mere human. Instead, I found myself sighing deeply, and to my eternal shame, allowed her to lead me away. Several diplomatic missions later, Elena approached me again, smiling slyly. "Hey, Zix, there's something fluffy in the lounge I think you should see." My suspicion flared. "Fluffy?" "Yes. A Calexian Deathstalker ambassador brought it. Absolutely adorable." "That creature is an apex predator," I pointed out cautiously. "Why would you touch it?" She grinned mischievously. "Come see." When I arrived at the lounge, my horror grew. There, the feared Deathstalker lay curled in Elena's lap, emitting a quiet, satisfied purr as she stroked its lethal spines. "It's actually quite friendly," she chirped happily. "Elena," I warned, voice shaking with barely contained disbelief. "That beast could kill an entire battalion." "Oh, hush," she interrupted gently, scratching behind his mandibles. "He's just misunderstood, much like a certain Razelian I know." My fists clenched, but my resolve melted under her bright gaze. To my eternal disgrace, I reluctantly approached, sat beside her, and eventually, at her insistence, placed a hesitant claw upon the softly rumbling predator. I was done. To this day, Elena Gardner remains the bane of my existence, and, inexplicably, my closest ally. She drags me into her absurd schemes, effortlessly manipulates my fearsome reputation to her advantage, and insists on introducing me to every being she encounters as Zix, my Razelian friend. Yet perhaps the most humiliating truth of all is that I have come to accept, even cherish, her friendship. For despite her lack of claws, armor, or venom, Ambassador Elena Gardner possesses something far more terrifying than mere strength: the unfathomable, unstoppable force of relentless human friendliness. So yes, I confess, I tamed a human once, but the human tamed me first.